Hey guys, this is James showing you guys how to make well, obviously clothing for Daz Studio 4.6 with using Zbrush 4.6, stuff like that. It's gonna be pretty awesome. And as you guys don't know, I like to do things without editing. So there's gonna be no editing. It's so mistakes are gonna be probably made, whatnot, blah 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 blah. So what we do is we open up our Daz Studio 4.6. There we go. And then it takes us to, just the base right here, base mesh. I mean, whatever it's called, base mesh, which is our actor. As you can see, we have our people, and this is the one we were using. So, same thing. It loads it in there, and many people, such as I, like to, sculpt on something and make that clothing article for that certain body type or with the features or whatnot. It's like this, like if I wanted to design a certain robe or blah blah blah, or something for like muscles or whatnot, or a tank top or something, then I would mess with those sliders. But the thing is, when you are done making something beautiful with whatever you're doing, and you're using these sliders or any sliders or anything that just changes the base mess, then what's going to happen is once you fit it to Genesis, is it's going to deform your article that you're putting on this. And in order to make that clothing move with with Genesis or whatever you're using, you need to fit to figure, and that figure being Genesis. And once it does that, it will deform and completely destroy your article or your of clothing, your article of clothing, or your mesh or your tool or whatever you call it. So, yeah. And just as it is right here, it's not. You don't want to use it as just this. So you're going to click on it, make sure it's selected. And obviously you see the boxes, you know how to do this. And then you can just press Alt, or you can go to Mesh Resolution. And then you subdivision, as you can see right here, when I put the wireframe on. This is just the 0 subdivision. And when you go in closer, you can see what Daz Studio does with the subdivision 1. It subdivides it in a particular way. I'm sure all the technical terms and whatnot, but it just creates the illusion of having multiple subdivisions by using shadows or something. So that way, it's not taxing on your hardware. So I'm just going to put this view back on, and subdivision, you put that down to 0 because it doesn't have. It's not the subdivisions. They're not going to transfer adequately to ZBrush. And then high resolution, you put that down to base. And then you're ready to go. If you're using City Walk, you just click here. So it takes your center geometry to ZBrush. If you're not using City Walk, you're using something else for some reason or whatever, you can click on File, and you press Send to ZBrush. That's the same thing. And then you can just have these off and selected, whatever. And yeah, you want this one selected at current resolution, so it's base. That's the current. Accept. I don't know what the other one does, but I just always keep it there because it's worked for everything else. And then we wait for this to load. Lightbox comes up. You just select this, you blah blah, and we drag because it's always going to load up with draw unless you actually change that. You press edit, and voila. Here are all the moving tools. Here's frame. The frame button's really awesome. So if you you move too far and you're like, oh crap, I lost my character, I don't know where he is, you press the frame button, and then there he is. Boom. And here's your move tool. It's pretty awesome. Here's your scale tool. I mean your scale selection, whatever it's called. You can also use a combination of left mouse button and Alt. You hold Alt button down and press left mouse button, hold left mouse button while holding the Alt button, and you can move it around like this. and you let go of the left mouse button before you let go of Alt, because if you let go of Alt first, it snaps like that, which is annoying because it goes all over the place. You see it? Of course, you can experiment with this and come to anyways. To zoom in and out, you hold the Alt button, you press the left mouse button, you hold the left mouse button, you let go of the Alt button, and now you can do this while you're holding the left mouse button. Then you let go of the left mouse button when you're done, and to twirl it around like a figure skater, you just hold and drag left mouse button. Of course, when you do this, you have to be off of your tool. This is called a tool now. When it's in ZBrush, it's called a tool. Notice the tool right here, and that's what it's called. Of course, it's also known as a mesh too, but in ZBrush, it's just known as a tool. So, but when you're on here and you're trying to move something, it just goes like that, and it just paints stuff, And if you're holding the Alt button, it turns into a minus. So you're minusing instead of moving. See? So that's why I use the right mouse. So you can click on this, and you can move, and you can zoom, and everything with the right mouse button instead of left mouse button. So you're doing the same combinations. It's just that instead of using the left mouse, you use the right mouse. This way, it doesn't do anything to your mesh. As you can see, it's not doing anything to my mesh. That's why I use the right mouse button to move around and pan and zoom and all that. So now we're just going to create a basic shirt, a nice basic shirt. We're going to mask this off by pressing the Control button and clicking anywhere off of our mesh or our tool, so we can get this nice box, this mask box. Voila. And now, boom. Of course, we don't want it like that because it looks really messy. That's because we're using the geometry of it. We're using the subdivision 0. So it's never going to be like super awesome. So we click on the sub tool right there, right under tool, and click on extract, and then we can extract this. Boom. But it looks awful because we don't want this like this. It's like, ugh, that's not what I want. And so we move it around because this is just in viewing, and we're going to press the brackets right next to the letter P to go up or down, because we're going to hold the Control button, masking. Then we're going to hold the Alt button to do minus masking, and then we're Control Z that. But you got to do it like while you're on this, and voila, you can do this all day long. As you can see, it's horrible because it's light right here and dark right here. It's like ugh. So we're gonna hold the masking button so we can change the options. Intensity, we're gonna set to 100. There we go. Focal shift, I'd like it to be, I guess the focal shift doesn't really matter. And voila. And now we can minus mash this. But as you can see, it still follows the polygons. So it's horrible. So what we do is we take mask off, and we go to geometry. We divide this about 4 times, so it's nice. And voila. You can also access if you like to view the vertices and the polygons and the geometry, you just press the Shift F. And as you can see, all these little lines, that's the subdivision. It actually divides it. I mean, yeah, it divides. So it multiplies. It multiplies all of it. Why did I say divide? Anyways, it just, makes more. So I shouldn't have to explain that. Voila. So now when we make a simple basic shirt, voila. It's much more cleaner and smoother. Of course, it will take longer to do everything because you have lots of polys. As you can see, that's up to 1 million polys. So if your hard drive can handle it, cool. And you can always take this subdivision down if you like, but who wants to do that? Looks awful. So you the subtool, because we're going to extract this. But we don't want the thickness to be all up there. And sliding the thickness like this, I mean, the thickness can be huge. So it's like on a scale of like just large increments, which is awful. Or good, whatever. It doesn't really matter too much since I'm just going to type it in anyways. So we're going to start with a 0.0030. And you can play around with this all you like. Press the extract button, and it's going to take some time to extract our, there we go. And I think I like this thickness. Every time you move it, it's going to take off the preview, because that's just previewing it. And we extract. And we wait, because it's doing 1 million polys extraction. And that looks nice. So now we're going to accept. And accept is super, super awesome. So now we have 2 tools. Okay? We have 2 tools. So let's select our first tool. And we can just select this off, or you can just have it on if you want. Doesn't really matter at all. And we're going to drag off, so that way nothing is selected with the masking. Then we're going to go, and we don't want all of these polys. That's crazy. Yeah, it's too many millions. That's like 12 million. So if you put that in some other machine, I mean some other I don't know, whatever's, you know, like Daz Studio or something, it's going to go terribly slow because it's got to move all those the geometry and everything. So we're going to go to geometry, and we're going to go to actually we don't have to, because we're not actually going to be using this tool. This tool is just a model. So we're just going to all the way down to 1 division, and we're going to delete higher division. So we can delete higher division, and what's going to happen is it deletes any division that's higher than division 1. So we can go to division 2, and it's going to delete all the divisions higher than 2, like so. Now we only have 2. And now we only have no divisions. See? Less polys, which is awesome, because it goes faster. Now we select this one, and we're going to take the masking off because we want to do the whole thing. We're going to go to geometry again, and hit this data mesh. Okay, and we remember it's on Z master, not that. Wait a minute, where am I doing? Oh yeah, right. I forgot to show you guys. There's this is the count, which is crazy, right? And here's the geometry, where there's no divisions because this is the lowest division it has, because that's the division that we made this upon. You know, we divided this whole thing, and this is now the base division, which is awful because that's far too many for a simple shirt. So if we reconstruct the subdivision, you can see it says canceled because there is nothing to reconstruct. This is the base division. It's just higher poly counts. So where we're going to go is we're going to go to Zbrush, and we press this button. Boom. We don't even have to worry about any of this because, you know, we don't have to. Here's the completion loading percentage thing right here, the bar, which lets you know, well, obviously how long it takes or whatever. And what this does is it subtracts all the polys and vertices that is unnecessary to contain the shirt, you know, to keep it like this. So boom, as you can see, not too much has changed. It's just become very, you know, frigid and whatever's. But as you can see, we still have, you know, all of this. Of course, you don't want to be putting a whole lot of detail and everything in there and then hitting Zbrush, because it can and will like soften some of your detail, or just repologizes it and then makes it too smooth. So you want to do that later, you know, after you do this. So now we have this nice shirt and whatever, and we can do like whatever we want with the shirts, I guess. even magnify parts of it. And we're going to just use the brackets right next to the letter P, because it's just easier sometimes. And voila. That can get a little higher. But you can turn on the symmetry by pressing X, and we get symmetry just for the shirt, because we've only selected these shirts in our subtools, and we haven't selected it on this, so we don't get symmetry on this one because the settings are different. So are the redos and the undos. It's stored only for that tool. So these are two different tools. So they all have their own options, and they all have their own history and of undos and redos. So if you want to undo something on the shirt, you have to select the shirt tool. Voila. And we can just smooth that out really. Voila. We're not going to make it like we're not going to go too long on the making of the shirt, because it's unnecessary. I'm just going to show you a little bit. And now we get a nice kind of shirt-like thing. Let's see. There we go. Oops. There we go. Seriously? Really? Intensity is too high. There we go. And now when we're done with this, we can press discuss. And if it's the first time you're pressing it, it's just going to ask you a series of questions where you like to send it to you directly, so you don't have to go into that software and manually do more work than just pressing the continue button. And now we press yes. And now we have it. Boom! Right there, just like that. And of course you see a little bit of phasing through right here, because I messed with that a little bit too much and pushed it a little bit too far in. So we're just going to go back and show you how easy it is to just remove this, remove it, and go back here, turn this around, and we're just going to use a pooling tool like move topology to move this mesh, or tool. Bring this out a bit more. That should be good. And hit it again. And the changes you make will apply. See how easy that is? Yep. And I have no idea what this is right here. What is that? What is that? Why is it there? Why is it mocking me? But yeah, though, before you put all kinds of designs and textures on it and stuff like that, you might want to just look at it really quickly and see if that's the base mesh that you want right there, you know. Because if it's not, then you might have to move far too many things, and that can, move the detail and everything else you were doing, blah blah blah, and you kind of don't want that like that, and that's awful. But as you can see, we have this little thing right there. I don't really feel like moving it too much, but as you can see, when we move like so, you can see it kind of like just peering through. So I'm just gonna bring this up, like way up. And now when we got it, press yes, and there you go. You see how it just changes. Of course, I don't want to have to go into all this and blah blah blah. Actually, make a shirt. Make a shirt. I do like this shirt though, but yeah. There we go. We click on the extract button, because when you move it, it's just going to move the whole thing, except for the shirt, which is awful. If you parent the shirt, and you press chunks extract parent to this Genesis, all it's going to do is just move the shirt in the actual direction of the entire person. See, it moves with the whole thing. And if you unparent it, I just Control Z it to unparent it. It just moves this instead of this. you don't want that, unless you do want that for, I don't know, in case you guys can convert that into shirts. So we go to scenes. We're going to go to extract. You can name this whatever you want, like shirt blah. See? And then we click on this option thing, or whatever it's called. We're going to go assets, going all the way down to transfer utility. And we're going to transfer the utilities of Genesis to our target, shirt blah. We're going to go to show object. We're going to uncheck this, and we're going to press accept. And then it does that thing. And now when we move this, the whole thing moves, which is awesome, because you want it to move. Like so. And then we click this and go to restore figure pose. And then you can see how this actually moves with it, which is awesome, right? Super awesome, right? And you know, it scales. Obviously it scales. Voila! Got a super awesome, okay-ish like shirt. You can always raise the subdivision levels and the mesh levels of the person and the shirts. So you go to extract, get a parameter. Wait, why is it called extract? Oh, I hate that. Okay, we'll just rename it then. So obviously it renames it every time you transfer utilities for some annoying reason. There we go. And we go to parameters, and we can you know, change the subdivision and make it, you know, more division. But as you see, there's no subdivision for the shirt. Did I click on shirt? Yeah, I did. And then we go to high res. Okay, there we go, high res. There it is. And then there's the subdivision. Okay, there we go. There we go. And that just makes it look, you know, more smoother, more rounder, more better. Edges are less crazy, like. And you can just, you know, put high res on this because that's how you want it when you're after you're done saving it. So now it's time to save it. All right. And you want to make sure you when you save anything as something that's openable again here, it's going to actually take a screen picture, a screen capture of the objects. So you want to make sure you make it look nice. So the shirt's already selected, and we're going to change the coloring on this to like greenish, I guess, right there. And then we're going to, okay, that's done. What else do I want to do? Awesome. Oh yeah. We don't need this in the scene anymore. So we can remove it, or we can just hide it with this little option thing right here. Whatever's. I'm just going to remove it because I feel like it. Just like this. And pan it nicely. Zoom in a little bit. Like so. That looks good. And then we're going to go to File. You're going to make sure it's selected though. And we're going to save as. And then we're going to skip all of these things, which is basically just presets. And then we're going to save it. And we're going to set it as figure/pop prop asset, however that's pronounced. As you can see, I already done this a few times. And it turns it into this DSUN file, DSUN user file. And then we can retitle it again. Shoot, blah. But this just titles this right here. The name doesn't actually transfer to the actual shirt. This is just what you call it. So, you know, if I add an extra like UAs, press accept, and then it's all like, yeah, I wanted to do this. I can click on this and get a wardrobe if I want, and shirt, yes, accept, because set content type. I'm setting the type, you know, for the content content type, whatever. I can set the category from here. Set category. Boom. That's huge. I don't feel like setting category right now, so I just press the ESC button on the left-hand part of my. Well, you should know where that is. Don't need to do that just yet. All these other things, don't care about reading it. Press accept, and voila, we're done. And now when we go here, go to smart content, you see it nowhere. Literally, you see it in absolutely nowhere. And that's because it's in your content library, and it's in Daz Studios. You go here, then it's in my library, and then it's in figures, and then you just wait a little bit. Voila, as you can see, I already saved some other things. This is an actor. Here it is. And you don't want to go all the way here all the time. You want to be your smart content. So you right click on this. You go to categorize. You left click. Then you, if you put check marks on these things, every time you click on something that has defaults or categories, this shirt's going to come up under those things as well. I don't want it to come up under categories, and I don't want it to come up under defaults, but I'm still going to search through defaults. And I'm going to search for wardrobe or clothes or something. What is it called again? Not materials, poses, presets, props. It's probably in props. General's hands. Goodness. It's annoying. Okay, maybe it's not in props. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, here it is, wardrobe. Wardrobe. Okay, so I want it to appear under wardrobe, and I want it to appear under shirts. So I click shirts as well to check. I press accept, and there we go. Now we go to smart content, and I go to wardrobe. There's my shirt right there. And now it's saved, so I don't have to keep going back to the file. I never have to look at that file again. And I can just, I can literally just close this whole thing out, like so. Close. No, don't save it. And we can close this, because I'm not going to save this because I don't feel like it. I mean, it's super easy to make that kind of shirt, so like, And then we can go to Daz Studios 4.6. As you guys see, it's like 27 minutes long, the video, because I don't edit anything. And I go over everything awesomely, very detailed like that. And we have this person selected, because it's smart content, so it will have more options. So you'll see, as we unselected, there's blah blah. But you should already know this, because it's not a Daz Studio tutorial. And we're going to go to wardrobe. And for some reason, that I have yet to discover, it's not under wardrobe. And you're like, Aah! Because it's crazy. So you have to click off of it. You have to click off of it, so you select nothing. And then you can see your wardrobe. Boom. You click it, and then it's on him. Or you can just drag and drop, and then it's on him. You just drag and drop this, and that's on him. And yeah. Oh, and then you can move this guy, and the whole thing doesn't move for some reason. Maybe I saved it differently. I don't know. Anyways, I'm new to this and I'm still figuring stuff out, which is kind of annoying sometimes. So then you just have to, I guess, do that thing I said you didn't have to do. And go to, do I need this here? And shirt blah 2. Why is that 2? Why does it say 2? I don't know. And then edit, and I mean assets, and blah blah blah. This is super annoying. Wait, there's 2 shirts? Wait, oh. Okay, no there isn't. I just have to remember. Oh! Now I remember. I remember now. Okay, remove. Okay, now we have the shirts right here. And it's not apparent to anything. See? No parents. So if we click on it and we go to change parents and we put it under, where's Genesis? What's this, all this crap? I hate that. Why is this just called hip? It makes no sense. I guess. Oh, that's just changing parents. I didn't fit it to anything. Okay, let me fit this. Okay, select shirt. And then fit shirt to Genesis, like accept. There we go. And now we can delete this shirt because I uploaded too many shirts. There we go. Whee! And now we can, there it is. There's our shirts. And yeah. Voila. Seriously, what's happening? There we go. And then when you want to get other things, other shirts, whatnots, we can move the shirts. And then go to my other shirt. You guys probably are wondering, like, what is that? Yeah. Well, this is the other shirt. And we can get a shaping. And then we can shape this nicely. And then we can go to my pre-made custom modifications. I have torso. Enlarge those, obviously. I actually made this in Zbrush. I'll show you guys how to make things on my next video. There we go. And we can actually make raise the resolution, as you can see, like that. Boom. There's that name. Your parameters, whatever, mesh res, and base, and high res. Well, that looks a little bit higher, I guess, whatever. I didn't spend too much time on this, as you can see, because there's bumps and blah blah blah. I was just like, let me just make something and see if this works. It took me a few hours to see if it works because no one ever told me that it's an absolute requirement to change the resolution all the way down to base and use 0 subdivisions. But as you can see, it shapes nicely to the body. And then we move this, voila. It does that. And we don't even have to parent it. That's because I saved the file for the other crap or something. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. That's the stuff. That's how you do everything awesomely. And hopefully this 32-minute video was not too long. Blah 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 blah.